watching at home, and those going to be attending SummerSlam on Sunday, that hey, this is a guy you need to get behind. You need to get behind him. You need to support him. This guy has been chosen by one of the very best, if not the very best in the business, one of the very best, if not the very best in the business in Triple H, to be the next game, the next cerebral assassin, because of what he can do, because of his commitments to the business and all that. You guys got to get behind this guy. You got to get behind him on Sunday, so that maybe, WWE will make the right decision and let him go over me on Sunday. Now, another thing is, of course, the cash-in. Now, depending on the outcome of this match, there's a rumor going around that if Sheamus does cash in and become champion, that promo on Monday is just the first step to what could be a face turn for Seth Rollins. That's what a lot of people are speculating. A face turn for Seth Rollins. That's what they're speculating. Now, we could be wrong. We thought that was going to happen before, it didn't. So is it going to happen now? Who knows? But again, that promo that Cena did to him, did on Monday for him, to me is the first step in getting to that point. But the question is, will it happen? It all depends on the outcome. It all depends exactly on whether or not, they put Rollins over, or they put Cena over, and they have, Sheamus cash in. That is the biggest question. That is the biggest deal if they go in that direction. Now, of course, the other outcome is the one that nobody really wants to see, not a majority of fans, and that is, of course, John Cena walking out with this and this. Now, we all know if John walks out with both of these, this gets vacated, and people that, probably that have faced him in the past in those open challenges will face him for this as well. Will probably compete either in a battle royal or a mini tournament for this belt. So there's that possibility there. There's that possibility. So right now, I think legitimately, we know it's not going to close out the show, but obviously right now it's kind of a toss-up. But I think a lot of people, 90% of them, have been saying it's going to be Cena no matter what we think. And that's going to result in a cash-in by Sheamus, and we're going to have Sheamus holding this going into Raw the next night. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Again, it's just one of those, up in the air deals. They know that you can't have two guys holding a belt at the same time. You got to have somebody with this belt out as well. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if they do have Cena win, they're probably going to have this get vacated, and probably at Night of Champions they're going to have a battle royal. They're going to have some kind of mini tournament with the finals at Night of Champions to crown a new U.S. champion. So we'll just have to wait and see. But until then, folks. Well, not until then. What am I talking about? I'm not done yet. But we'll just have to wait and see till then. So again, it's just one of those toss-ups, and we'll just have to see whether or not Rollins breaking Cena's nose accidentally is going to cost him this in the end. And then finally, we have Undertaker Brock Lesnar. Now, a lot of people have looked at this, and they're okay with it. A lot of people are actually in favor of the match. But some people question, why is this rematch taking place a year and a half later? And I think, honestly, in my opinion, that the reason it's happening now is because at WrestleMania, even though he looked good, they still wanted to be careful with Taker. They wanted to make sure he was basically better than he was the year before. So by kind of holding off on him a little bit, they probably waited and said, okay, let's see let's check in on him and see what's going on. And apparently they've seen the photos and everything. They've talked to him. They've talked to his wife Michelle. So apparently he was in good enough shape to come back. Now, one other thing a lot of people wondering is, one other thing that people point out is that the only reason this is main eventing, and the only reason that now going with this storyline instead of probably doing it sooner than later, or sooner than now I should say, is because WWE didn't have no real main event. They didn't have something that's going to grab people's attention. They didn't have a storyline that's going to make people want to tune into the network or pay the money for the pay-per-view and see the match. So, you know, they had to do something, and they saw they had something right there, storyline-wise, with Lesnar and Heyman, mostly Heyman gloating over, you know, Lesnar conquering the streak and everything. So they had something there. There you go. And the way they're presenting Undertaker, I mean, I do agree with Jeff Shiegel on this. It's kind of good, a little bit refreshing to see a, you know, don't give a damn kind of Undertaker, don't give two damns Undertaker, you know, by doing the low blows and everything. But the question is, what happens with this match? Who comes out on top? You know, a lot of people have said that you can't just bring Taker back for this match, for a second pay-per-view in a year, and have him come back for this revenge match, or this revenge storyline, and have him lose. You got to have him continue it, and again, this is one of those matches that's a toss-up, but it might be more of a, might not be as much of a toss-up. You see, there's a speculation going around that Kane could return and cost Lesnar the match, and Taker will win. Basically getting back at Lesnar for breaking his ankle storyline-wise. That's a possibility. That, again, like I said, that's a possibility. You know, another possibility is you have Lesnar win. And you basically maybe, from a realistic storyline standpoint, have Undertaker realize that Lesnar's the one guy, no matter how good the matches are, no matter how violent or physical the matches are, he's the one guy he can never beat. So, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, is this going to be a show stealer? We don't know, but we do know either spot-wise or storytelling-wise, it's going to be a match people are going to talk about. So, mostly storytelling-wise, it's going to be a match people are going to talk about. So, again, it's one of those toss-ups. If you go with the rumor that, if you go and believe the rumor that Kane's going to interfere, then definitely WWE is going to be going with Taker if that's true. If not, it's a toss-up, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So, because I don't think you're going to want to bring Taker back just for him to put Lesnar over again. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, and that's about it. That's all I have to say. Sorry this video, or these predictions, preview was in a couple of parts. I'm sorry about that. But let me know what you guys think. What do you expect out of SummerSlam this year? And I'll talk to y'all later.